Welcome to the show, Coach WONDERGEDDON. I'm your host, Coach WONDERGEDDON. End of May 2019, which only means one thing. NBA playoff finals, Raptors versus Golden State. Run my music and we'll talk about it right after this. What's going on, everybody? As I said earlier on, this is Coach WONDERGEDDON. I'm your Coach WONDERGEDDON, and we are going to talk about a lot of stuff. Playoffs. We're going to talk about a little bit of baseball as well. Obviously, fantasy baseball is still going on. We're going to talk about that a little bit. But we have to talk about the elephant in the room, which is the NBA Finals. We are going to talk about Kawhi Leonard, though, because apparently I've been disrespectful to this guy. I'm a Kawhi Leonard fan. I was a Kawhi Leonard fan when he was with the Spurs, and I still am with Toronto. So apparently my treatment of Kawhi Leonard was not appropriate because of my love for DeMar DeRozan. Am I going to apologize for this treatment of Kawhi? Absolutely not. I am not going to do it. All he did was pass the conditions of my Raptor fandom. That's all he's done. I knew he was a good player before he got here. Did I know he was a better player than DeMar DeRozan? Of course I knew that. I know that he's probably one of the top 3 players in the NBA. But, as I said, he had to meet the conditions for my Raptor fandom. And he has for the most part so far. One thing about that I had a problem with him about was his health. Wasn't sure what his health condition was when he joined the team. To give away a guaranteed contract for one that could leave as a free agent didn't seem like a good idea if he's not a healthy product. Well, guess what? Thanks to the magic of load management, it seems to have worked out. He's going to the finals. He doesn't have any major injuries. Good job, Nick Nurse, keeping him healthy all season. Yeah, he missed about, 20-25 games this season. But if you don't have him on your fantasy league, you didn't really care about those games missing because this is what we had him for. Real life playoffs. And he's there and he's brought the Raptors there. Thank you, Kawhi. Good job. I'm glad that you're uninjured. Even though I don't know if you're coming back next year yet. I don't know that part. We're going to talk about that in a bit. But I am glad you're healthy. You've passed checkpoint number 1. Number 2, DeRozan. Still love DeRozan, but the upgrade at small forward is even greater than the downgrade at shooting guard. Sorry, Danny Green. Yes, Danny Green plays better defense than DeRozan, but obviously there's a big downgrade between Danny Green and DeMar DeRozan. For the most part, everyone seems to be okay with it. Yes. Danny Green plays better defense, understood. But DeMar DeRozan scores. DeRozan scores, he scores better, and I trust him more with the ball than I do with Danny Green at any point. But I do like having Kawhi with the ball at small forward as well, so I'm not going to complain about that. Fourth quarter, Kawhi takes the lead and the Raptors follow, which is the difference between last year's team and this year's team. Last year's team, Kyle Lowry and DeRozan were a tandem that everyone had to follow on the Raptors team, and that's not what happened this year. This year, there is no question that Kawhi is the leader of this team. Even Kyle Lowry is following what Kawhi is doing, and that is working for any team when you know absolutely who your leader is. He keeps calm under pressure. He doesn't have to run into a LeBron James, which means that he doesn't have anybody who's scaring him and intimidating him as LeBron James did to DeRozan year after year after year, and Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry is still playing the same Kyle Lowry that I like watching. It's great to know that he is not the leader of the team, even though he is one of the leaders of the team. He definitely knows who the ball goes to in the crunch time, which is what I like about Kawhi Leonard. Good job, Kawhi Leonard, on that as well. But let me say this. Number one, I hope Valanciunas runs the West next year. I hope he does a good job on the West. I still think that he's better at center than I still think that he's better at center than Marc Gasol. Not prime Marc Gasol, even though I think that he has the capacity to be as good as Marc Gasol was in his prime. I don't think Marc Gasol's in his prime anymore, which means that there's kind of a downgrade at center, but I'm okay with that. Number two, Dwayne Casey, if he had Kawhi Leonard, would be in the finals as well. They were supposed to make the finals last year. I know some things happened. They didn't make the finals, but they were supposed to make the finals, and everyone knows that. The year before, they were supposed to make the finals. The year before that, they were also supposed to make the finals, but LeBron James is LeBron James, and he made his presence felt. Remember, before you argue with me about what the Raptors didn't do, and it doesn't matter who LeBron James is. So this is what I'm going to ask you to do if you're going to argue with me about this. Name a team that beat LeBron James in the Eastern Conference to go to the Eastern Conference Finals, and then tell me what year it is. And when you tell me what year that happened, feel stupid because I'm not going to argue with you, but you will know that LeBron James is the only reason why the Toronto Raptors didn't make the finals for all these years in a row. Now, I really hope that Kawhi sticks around because I really don't want to be the New York Knicks in the next couple of years, where I'm sitting there wondering what could have been and looking at players who basically could not carry a team to the playoffs, never mind the finals. So I really hope that Kawhi does stay. Even though deep down I know that if Kawhi does leave, we are playing Golden State, which means that if for any reason Kevin Durant is going to leave Golden State, he's probably going to go to a team that beat him, just like he did with OKC going to Golden State. Who knows? Maybe he'll go from Golden State to Toronto if Kawhi does leave. But I'm just grasping at straws. Now, this is the part where I grovel a little bit, and I hope you guys enjoy this for what it is. Kawhi Leonard, Mr. Kawhi Leonard, I can't force you to stay. My countrymen are calling you the King of the North. In one season, you got Drake being a fan on courtside, where most courtside people with tickets are not really fans. They're just kind of sitting there on their phones, not really paying attention to the game. But you got Drake out here being the super fan of all super fans, and I appreciate that. But I can ask you politely to bring us a championship. I hope you do it. Good season, Mr. Leonard. Win or lose, but I'm truly expecting a win. I predict 6 games, Toronto over Golden State. At me, bro. At me. If you don't believe me, at me. If you don't agree with me and you have an argument to tell me why Toronto will not beat Golden State in 6 games, at me. I dare you. Toronto, 6 games. Every game without Durant works for me. But I think we could steal a game or 2 from Golden State, even with Durant, as long as we shamelessly hit on Aisha Curry all game. And maybe Steph Curry will notice and jump into the fans, and we'll have another Detroit, Indiana fight in the stands. That will throw him off enough for Toronto to dominate and maybe even win it in 4 games. That's my prediction. NBA Finals, Toronto, 6 games over Golden State. As I said, at me, bro. At me. We're back, Major League Baseball Fantasy. That's what we're going to talk about right now. Fantasy Major League Baseball. I know a lot of people aren't really in Fantasy League for baseball, which is weird because it's such a long season. It makes it really easy to play. You don't have to pay that much attention to it. Obviously, I know that more people have more information about the NBA, but as for now, I'm going to talk to the Major League Baseball Fantasy players. Let's play a game, guys. This game is called What Do I Do Now? What do I do now? The way we play this game is simple. We got a lot of people on the disabled list. I am going to name off the positions of somebody who is on the disabled list, and we are going to figure out what you're going to do now. I'm going to give you an example at first base. First base, there's not a lot of people actually on the DL. There's not a lot of people on a DL at first base, but Robinson Cano is first base eligible, so we will talk about him. He is on the disabled list. What do you do if you have Robinson Cano and you have a spot at first base? Who do you pick up? Well, this is what I suggest, because you do need to replace him. First base is an important position, and this is what I suggest you do. I suggest that you pick up Miguel Cabrera from the Detroit Tigers. He is only 54% owned in fantasy leagues this year, but still has a 300 average, which means that he's obviously not going to ruin too much for you. He still hits the ball. He doesn't hit the ball with the same power that he had last year before he got injured, but he is still hitting the ball. 300 average is obviously a great average. That means that even though you are going to be losing a little bit of power with Robinson Cano down, he's going to make it up for you with a lot of extra singles and doubles. Doesn't strike out a lot and hits fourth in the lineup, which means that he still has the opportunity to get the RBIs going. And runs not so much unless he starts hitting a little bit of home runs, but as I said, he's been losing a little bit of power. But I would look at him for a lot of RBIs, and obviously going to be hitting a lot of singles if he's not hitting for a lot of power. Do you understand the game? We are going to talk about how you're going to replace somebody who you might have lost in the DL. Okay, let's try this again. Second baseman. Jose Altuve has been gone since May 11th. He plays for Houston. He's probably their best hitter in Houston. He has a bad hamstring, and he hasn't played, as I said, since May 11th. What do you do to replace him? I suggest Brandon Lowe from the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. He's a number 5 hitter. He's 280 average, and there's no reason to believe that he's going to slow down from the 280 average that he has been hitting at so far. 72% owned, so some of you guys might not be able to find him, but look for him if you have him, and I would definitely suggest picking him up if he's out there. As I said, 72% owned, so a lot of you guys aren't going to be able to see him out there. A lot of guys have already picked him up. But good luck to you if you do see him. Pick him up, especially if you have Jose Altuve, who looks like he's going to be gone for a couple more weeks. All right. Let's say now you are looking for a shortstop. D. Gordon of Seattle, the Seattle Mariners, leadoff hitter. He's been down for a little while. He's on the DL. I would consider picking up the super utility man, also from the Detroit Tigers. He's only 17% owned. It is Nico Goodrum. I would suggest picking him up. He has a low average right now, but I really think that he's going to start heating up soon. He's a super utility guy, which means he plays multiple positions. And the reason why he plays multiple positions is because they want to get his bat in the order. So, although his record is low, I suggest that you try picking him up. Altuve is going to be hard to replace anyways. And as I said, he's probably still a couple weeks. Or sorry, D. Gordon is going to be hard. D. Gordon has a lot of stolen bases. He's also a leadoff hitter, so he's going to be hard to replace. As I said, try to get Nico Goodrum. 70%. I think he's going to heat up soon. Third baseman, let's say you have Miguel Andujar from the New York Yankees. He's just recently been put to the 60-day disabled list, which means you're probably not going to see him until at the earliest maybe July. He has a bad shoulder, and you have a roster spot third base. I would recommend Miguel Sano from the Minnesota Twins. 53% owned as of right now. He bats fifth on a stacked Twins lineup. I would suggest picking him up. That's the infield. That is the infield, guys. I am only going to talk about the infield today. The reason why is because this season is so long that if I run out of topics on later weeks, I can at least tell you guys about what to do in the outfield if the same problem arises. That's all I'm going to talk about baseball, because as I said, there's a lot of playoff stuff going on right now, and I'd rather talk about that. So we're going to talk about the Stanley Cup in a couple seconds. I know we've been talking about baseball and we've been talking about the NBA Finals, but guess what, party people? There is still one more playoff that's going on right now, and this is the NHL Stanley Cup. Boston versus St. Louis in the Stanley Cup. I'm not gonna lie, out of all sports, I, as a once die-hard Edmonton Oiler fan, I've found that since they have this inability to make the playoffs, I have not been watching hockey as much as I used to. I'm also a Toronto Maple Leaf converted fan, which means that now I don't laugh at Maple Leaf fans. I actually want to be a Maple Leaf fan as well. And what did they do? They got ousted in the first round. So the Stanley Cup I've been ignoring while the NBA Finals have been going on. But I'm still paying a little bit of attention. Enough for me to tell you this. It is the Boston Bruins versus the St. Louis Blues in the Stanley Cup. I pick St. Louis because I don't like Boston teams. I don't like the Patriots, even though Tom Brady is white Jesus and he keeps beating me and my Pittsburgh Steelers. I like him. I don't like the New England Patriots. I don't really like the Boston Red Sox. I don't really like the Bruins, and if there's any other sports that I can't think of right now where Boston has a team, chances are I don't like that team either. I don't really like Boston teams, just what I do. The Bruins eliminated the Leafs. If that's not even a good enough reason to continue to hate them, I will say this. I will rather cheer for Tyler Bozak, ex-Leaf, now with the St. Louis Blues. I will cheer for him. St. Louis in 6 games. That's what I think is going to happen. St. Louis is going to win the Stanley Cup in 6 games. Okay? That's what I believe. So do me a favor, guys. I need... that's all I'm going to really say about that, about the Stanley Cup. If anyone tells me different, sure, I'm going to believe you for now. As I said, I wasn't really paying that much this year once the playoffs came because the Bruins eliminated the Leafs so early. So I don't really have that much good stuff to say. Toronto was in the playoffs the whole time. I paid attention to the Raptors because Toronto was in the playoffs the whole time. If you don't know, by the way, I am based in Toronto. I don't think I've ever said that before, have I? No, probably not. But I am based in Toronto, which means that my bias is going to be for Toronto teams. And that's how I feel about that. So there. Too bad, guys. Do me a favor, guys. Go to my my Coach Wondergeddon Facebook page. What I am looking for is a collection of the best Raptors playoff NBA final meme collection that I can garner from all of you. Drop them in my Facebook group, Coach Wondergeddon. Like the page. I put random stuff in there all the time. I like to consider myself a comical person, so I might put some funny stuff in there. Obviously, if the memes are in there, then that's what I'm going to be laughing at the most, and I'm going to put them in a nice little bunch on my page for you guys to watch as well. So enjoy that as you will. Join the page, as I said, Coach Wondergeddon. We'll probably put something right down here. This is Coach Wondergeddon Facebook page. Just know that if the Raptors do win, which I do actually expect them to win, just know that the city of Toronto is going to go absolutely ape shit crazy. I think that might be the first time I swore on the show, but that's because that's exactly what's going to happen. The city's going to go nuts. We've been starving for a champion other than TFC for the longest time. Shout out to the Argos as well, who's also won championships in the last few years. But let's face it, if we beat Golden State in the playoffs and win, the city is going to go absolutely nuts. Don't you dare miss it, guys. Watch the games. Game 1 is coming soon. You're probably watching this before Game 1 came out. Enjoy Game 1, guys. Subscribe, obviously, to the Highermovement Showcase. That's what you're watching the show on now. It's on YouTube. Coach Wondergeddon on Facebook and Instagram. Support the movement, okay? If you have a business, inbox me. For example, shout out to Bibida Barday, okay? This is the new level. Bibida Barday at your next house party. You guys like that one? The flavor, this particular flavor is blackcurrant and pear. I have tasted it. It is amazing. I'm probably going to drink this after the show. Mango lemonade is also out there. Ginger and lime. Pineapple cranberry mix. These things are awesome. I drink these all the time. I put them in my smoothie. Completely organic. 70 milligrams THC. Perfect for smoothies. Some people drink the whole thing and they are monsters for doing that because it is delicious, but it goes so much better in a smoothie in my opinion. But I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I drink these things straight sometimes. I try not to drink the whole thing because I have kids and I have things to do. But if you are sitting at home on a Saturday night and you want to get a nice little buzz, I suggest you drink one of these. And I'm expecting compensation for doing that, for telling everybody about this. Anyways, guys, have a good night. This has been again Coach Wondergeddon Show, or Coach Wondergeddon on the Highermovement Showcase. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys as soon as possible.